folks. This morning's soap is brought to us by Stirling Shave. Name of this one here is Rushmore. It's a tallow-based soap. Some of the scent profile here is verbena, orange peel, apple and cinnamon, evergreen, fir, cranberry, pine, and sandalwood. That's some of the profile there of the scent. You can tell that it's 5 ounces of soap in this particular container. I used to start out that way this morning. And it's firm, but it's fairly soft in the inside the container there. It's relatively easy to scrape out to bowl lather. Didn't take a whole lot of effort to get it out of there. I also got the Stirling Black no rubber band this morning. Still sporting Stirling's witch hazel with mentholated black ice. And I got the aftershave. It's in a glass container also, by the way. And on camera I'll be following up with the matching EDT. And if you're ever wondering, right there at the bottom, the EDT, if you're kind of new to this, where all that came from. If you've heard it mentioned before and wondered what they were talking about, this is Cremo beard oil. This is tea tree and mint. It's got a little bit of the shaven sailor beard oil mixed in with to take some of that edge off of that tea tree there. It's a pretty stout scent there. Oh, blade of choice today. Got Gillette Rubie Plus, and that particular blade came wrapped up in a just a single wrapper, and got it loaded here in a Windrose Slant open comb. See what that blade exposure looks like. I got a link down below for this particular shaver if you're interested in it. It's has a little bit of weight behind it. I like it. It feels good in the hand there. I got the lather whipped up here in the wooden bowl here for a distinctive goat. This one here is walnut and cherry. It's got grooves there in the center. And the brush today, this one here is made by Liam. Got the coin there inside for Red Dirt Shaving Society. That's a tuxedo knot there. Smells great this morning. Go ahead and get started here with what's left of my cube. It's getting pretty small. We're going to put a hot towel to the face this morning. And I guess I also should mention that all that cool stuff from Stirling Shave came in a box like this right here. Pretty cool. He's on vacation at the moment, so his Etsy site is, I guess you might say, closed while he's on vacation. I would say, from what I could see, this is quite possibly a limited run, and this box here is 26 out of 50. That should give you some idea. I don't have, I'm trying to think, I may have one, or this is the first one. This might be the first one. I'm kind of trying to think when it comes to a shaving set. Do I have the matching EDT? No, take that back. This is the second one. The first one I got a hold of was TFS. That was my first one, so this will be my second one. I was going to say, I don't have very many that are like this, where you have the aftershave and EDT and soap, and in other words, the whole setup. I don't have, this will be my second one. It's something, I guess you might say, I haven't really got started doing, is when they start rolling out with the EDTs to get the matching one. This is a relatively new thing to me. It's getting kind of hard to hang on to that, what's left of that cube, that sliver there. I may have to break out a full-size Preshave soap here pretty soon. You can kind of tell it lathers up pretty good on its own. If you're not familiar with the Phoenix Artisan Accoutrements Cube, worked out pretty good. You can just about shave with that right there. Matter of fact, I've seen a number of videos where that's about as thick as their shaving cream is, and they, on their third pass, you know, trying to squeeze that last little bit out of the brush. This one here, this lather is a little bit thicker than what I normally whip it up as. It's still yogurt, just not quite as wet. Smells great this morning. My nose, sometimes it'll pick up parts of it. In other words, I can pick up the cranberry. Just a hint of the cinnamon. Cinnamon's not real strong. So in other words, if you're concerned about that, for some people their skin can't tolerate a whole lot of the cinnamon. Apple, I pick up a lot of that sort of thing. Guess you might say off the top, at least for me I do. My nose has a tendency to pick up citrus or fruit or something like that, and then sometimes it'll lean towards, like for instance the fir or something like that, the tree scents. Just the way my nose works. Yours is probably going to work a lot different. This one here, I should point out, this slant open comb, that the comb part, these teeth, are well rounded, very smooth. In other words, if you're like the Gillette short comb, it's a little bit on the pointed side. This one here is not anything like that. It's well rounded, and this is a pretty smooth shaver. It does have a little bit of feedback to it, just a little bit with this blade, but it's a very smooth shaver. Feels nice on the face. Of course, also it helps to have a nice lather to help for that glide. This does feel really nice though. I was thinking about, I didn't know if it would be considered bad form or not. So I decided maybe I better not. One shave, 3 razors go with another one with open combs. Just I guess you might say more on the modern side of things. This is a lot of fun though. The 3 razors, the one shave was quite enjoyable. It's a little different because a lot of times you're not accustomed to swapping out a blade out of 3 razors. Very close to being like, you know, swapping out your interchangeable base plates. It's not that tough, and to me it's not off-putting. It's kind of fun. Because you don't do it on a daily basis, at least, you know, I don't. I still have that strong tendency to find one setting, and that's what I'll stick with for the rest of the shave. As smooth as that shaver is, it was pretty efficient. It took a good amount of the whiskers off on the first pass. It is one of those kind of shavers where you can shave with it on a daily basis and you should be alright. Some can't shave that often. In other words, every other day because of their skin. A little bit on the sensitive side. I would say this particular shaver here would fit in that category of being able to shave with it on a daily basis, especially if you marry it up with the right the blade that works best for you. Stomach's already growling this morning. It does leave a little bit of the soap behind. So if you like going over the same spot a time or two without lathering, you can do that with this shaver. This soap's got plenty of slickness. Of course, that goes both ways. This, in my opinion, this head has no problem sliding across your face. Should mention this is not an inexpensive razor. In other words, it's well north of the $50 range. I think most of them are somewhere in between, I think it's, I'll say $70 on up. But if you can't tell, you're getting a quality product. It's a really nice, well-made shaver. I mean, it's got weight behind it, feels good. There's no overhang here, so if you're shaving underneath the nose, you don't have to worry about that. So that means that this is going to be slightly longer than, I guess you might say, your standard shaver. Plus, I don't know if you can tell that blade. So in other words, it doesn't extend all the way to the end, but pretty close. So that overlap that you may do, I think it's just a natural thing that most wet shavers do anyways, just overlap your strokes so that way you're catching everything. I don't think that little bit that's not, where the blade is not going to be an issue. In case you might say, it's not a huge deficiency at all. And this this is supposed to be, for I understand, a new formula. This one here is pretty nice. It does feel different from the other soaps. At least to me it does. Pass number 3, get ready to start. This is I guess you might consider this a wintertime scent, perhaps, maybe. And it depends on your opinion of what you're used to, what you like. I like the in other words, the apple, the cinnamon. I could go year round with that, which in other words, I would shave with this one year round. I think it's the cranberry that might make it for some folks on the seasonal side of things. And it's probably also from my previous jobs. Evergreen and fir, when I was working, when you work around those, you smell that year round. If you're familiar with the Parker 24 or 26C, it'll run you about $30. That's usually about the going price. And that's the open comb that I started with. That was my first one. And this is smoother than that one. A lot of folks will recommend that 24C or the 26C. The difference in between two is just the color of the handles. Other than that, they're identical when it comes to actually shaving with them. But this one here is a lot smoother than the Parker, but it's also quite a bit more money too. A very smooth shaven slant open comb. I would, as it goes for smoothness, how it glides across your face, it's very close. Matter of fact, I probably ought to shave with that one tomorrow. It's Fine's super light slant. That one there is just a fantastic shaver. Very lightweight. It's probably, I would have to say that it probably is my favorite lightweight shaver because it just glides right across the face, just like this one. I mean, it's smooth. You couldn't even tell that the fact that it's a lightweight. You know, lightweight shavers usually will have to adjust how you shave with it if you're used to something that's heavier. it's a very nice lightweight shaver. And of course then you got the one that's metal. Really like to get a hold of that one. Still have a hard time with the price tag. Since I've got the what I think is made out of what they refer to as polymer. I mean, that one there is such a nice shaver. Just makes me wonder how much better can it get, since that one there is already shaving so well. And some places, I think it's Maggard still has them for sale right at the $30 range. So in other words, if you're unsure about it, when you go to decide to go ahead and get it, you know, you're only spending $30, and if you're, you know, decide that it's not for you, you're not out a whole lot of money, and you'll be able to recoup some of it. It's not the easiest shaver to find. I think Italian Barber, I think, is sold out. I think, in other words, a lot of the locations that did carry the shaver, I think they're sold out of it. So if you're considering getting a slant razor, lightweight, that one there would be one to get, and probably ought to hurry. I'm not too sure how much longer they're going to make the polymer one. It's a good shaver. Slant, efficient, lightweight, glides across your face. You ought to read the box. I mean, the box does a very good job in describing the razor. It really does. Reminds me a lot of this one here, because it is. It glides right across the face. Of course, it also has, nice to have this kind of soap too. Got the witch hazel here. Give it a good shake here. I'll go ahead and take this apart. See what it looks like on the underside there. Post is not too terribly long. Some of them are a little short, some are a little long. This one here I think is probably just about right. The post only sticks out about that far. Kind of see that the blade's right there, underside of the cap there. That soap did help make sure that it got stuck there. Go ahead and wipe that off so you can see what it looks like there. Like I said, those teeth are pretty well rounded, nice and smooth. So if you accidentally try, you know, get it up to the face in an awkward position, it's not going to hurt. Some of them will let you know that you've done that. There's the blade there. For this shaver, it's a pretty smooth blade. My son, he was introducing his girlfriend to this witch hazel. The scent, to me, I guess you might say, might be on the acquired side of the taste. For me, it's unique. I like having something unique from time to time, and this one here is definitely it. It's the menthol though. A shapen face, the menthol, the witch hazel. I think it's got some alum in it. Working on the face right now, you can feel the cooling effect. Feels great on the face. I really enjoy having the mentholated witch hazel. This one here is 100 milliliters, and I think that figures out to 3.4 or maybe 3.5 ounces. In the, I guess you might say the stickers, I don't know if you want to call it waterproof, but at least resistant, so if you splash it or whatever, you should be alright. Restrictor is small, so you'll, in other words, you won't have a whole lot coming out at one time, and you probably could pop that out if you wanted the larger hole there. Now on the dry down, I guess you might say kind of typically, you'll start out smelling one thing, then as it dries down and gets down to the middle notes and the base notes, you'll probably start picking up the pine, a little bit more of the woody scent. picking it up right now. Great shave this morning. I really enjoyed it. This is another one of those shavers where I try not to shave with it all that often, because it's one of those I'll shave with it all week. It's just a real joy to shave with this one here. Like I said though, it's not an inexpensive shaver. One to say, I think this one here was when I got mine. I think I got this one here right at the $70 mark. And it didn't take very long. I think maybe a week to get it. It is a really nice shaver. Thought it was a good matchup with this one here. This shaver with this soap here, because I like this scent. This scent's really, it's right up my alley. I like the cranberry, the apple, the cinnamon, those scents I really enjoy. I got a soap, I've been looking at this soap company for a while, Herc soap. It's, you may see them if you're on Instagram, where they'll have postings of like airplanes, military people in it, soldiers and whatnot. And one of them I got is got blueberry in it, and oh man, does that smell great. Anyway, that's for another shave. I enjoyed my shave this morning. I hope everybody's doing well. Enjoy your shaves. Stay safe, and smooth shaves to you.